Chapter 779. I'm not even aware of Xiao Lia's injury if the maid had not informed me. What did you promise me before? You promised that you would not let anything happen to Lia. You promised that you will appoint Lia the head of the Luo family when I'm dead. Now, how could you defend the woman who has hurt Lia? Sponsored Content Remove Ads. Mother. Luo Fei did not dodge old Lady Luo's attack. He simply endured it. What I have done is for your sake. Old Lady Luo sneered and moved forward to grab Luo Li's hand. Xiao Lia, let's go. Yes. Luo Li forced a smile. I'll bring you along to meet Xiao Qing. She's beautiful and gentle. She's nice too. Old Lady Luo did not say anything more. She walked out of the manor with Luo Li by her side. Mother, where are you going? Luo Fei wanted to stop them. He became quite nervous. Old Lady Luo hit the ground with her crutch. I'll run into the wall and kill myself if anybody dares to stop me from leaving today. Sponsored Content Remove Ads. Luo Fei wanted to stop Old Lady Luo, but he became frightened when he heard what she had said. He stopped walking and dared not move anymore. He had no choice but to let them leave. He seemed helpless and could not recover his senses for a long time. Was he really the one wrong this time? Wan Qin Xiaoye smiled coldly when she realized that both Old Lady Luo and Luo Li had left them alone at last. But she soon composed herself and approached Luo Fei slowly. Luo Fei, Old Lady Luo will know your good intentions one day. But Lia is just insensible. I'll teach her to respect the elderly in the future. Xiao Yu. Luo Fei appeared rather angry. He sounded serious. Lia is my daughter. I'll teach her myself if she's still insensible. You don't have to worry about that. Sponsored Content Remove Ads. No matter what, Lia was his daughter. He would feel unsettled if anyone criticized her. If Xiao Yu had not sacrificed so much for his mother, he would have left her by now. Luo Fei, I'm just being nice. Qin Xiaoye was dissatisfied with Luo Fei's response. She pursed her lips tightly. Qin Xiaoye had been with Luo Fei for a few years now. That was the first time he had scolded her, for an ignorant brat. Let's forget about it. I'm tired. Xiaoye, you can go home and rest now. Luo Fei neither say anything more nor take a look at Qin Xiaoye. He turned and walked into the Luo family. Sponsored Content Remove Ads. He seemed to be without spirit. It seemed that he had aged much at that moment. The young girl appeared quiet and calm in the manner. She was holding a book in her hands. She was captivating and was the most beautiful girl in the world. She moved and soon heard footsteps approaching her from outside of the manor. She turned her head slowly and a cute face appeared in front of her. Luo Li smiled brightly. She was delighted, and it might be because of the fact that she had left the Luo family. She was overjoyed. She was escorting an old lady and they were walking toward Feng Ruqing. Grandma, well, stay here from now on. I don't want to go back to the Luo family anymore. Old Lady Luo held onto Luo Li's hand softly. She appeared gentle and kind. Fine. You can go wherever you want. Your dad will surely be left all alone in this world. That bastard. 1-inch Feng Ruqing made no reply and witnessed the whole scene quietly. When did I promise to let them stay here? 1 Xiao Qing. Luo Li spotted Feng Ruqing when she turned her eyes. She let go of Old Lady Luo's hands and rushed toward Feng Ruqing like a butterfly. Chapter 780. I've brought my grandmother to you. Sponsored Content Remove Ads. Feng Ruqing looked Old Lady Luo. She fell into deep thought. Old Lady Luo was rather surprised when she saw Feng Ruqing. She was in doubt too. Xiao Qing. Luo Li held Feng Ruqing's hands. She asked helplessly, "Can you really help to treat my grandmother?" Luo Li had told Old Lady Luo everything when they were on their way there. Old Lady Luo smiled kindly when she heard what Luo Li said. Sponsored Content Remove Ads. Young lady, it's so nice of you to want to treat my illnesses. Don't be stressed. I know my own body very well. It's fine even if you're unable to treat my illnesses. Feng Ruqing was already standing in front of Old Lady Luo. She stroked old Lady Luo's white hair to the side so that she could take a look at old Lady Luo's neck. There were some dark spots on old Lady Luo's neck. These spots were quite small and they could be overlooked if one did not look properly. Have you been to any spring water? Did you take a bath there? Old Lady Lu's mind went blank for a moment. After a while, she nodded. It might be the eternal spring in the sacred mountain that you're talking about. I've taken a bath there a long time ago. That's right. I saw some dark spots in your eyes too. Now, I've understood the situation after taking a look at your body. Sponsored Content Remove ads. There was a record of this kind of illness in the book Fu Chen gave her. She had identified it the moment she saw the dark spots. Even ordinary spring water is not clear and clean. There would be some insects or bacteria. The one you went to before was spring water, which was rich with spiritual qi. The ordinary insects in the spring water have turned into some sort of spirit beasts when they were immersed in the spiritual qi. But one cannot locate them easily because they are only small insects. An ordinary cultivator would use his spiritual qi to shield himself from the insects so that they won't harm him. But it appears to me that old Lady Luo is not a cultivator. Old Lady Luo was shocked. Soon, she became silent. Sponsored Content Remove ads. There were numerous cultivators in both Tianshan Manor and the secular world. Ordinary people who could not cultivate could never enter the eternal spring. Old Lady Luo was escorted by Luo Fei when they went to the eternal spring. She just wanted to extend her lifespan. Both Luo Fei and Luo Li had taken a bath there too. They were fine, but old Lady Luo's body worsened. She had even caught a fatal disease. Nobody had thought about eternal spring at that time. Young lady, we really have no idea about what you have just said. Old Lady Luo was quiet for a while. Is there anything we can do for my illness? It can be cured. Feng Ruqing touched her chin. Have you heard of the herbal dishes at Paramount? Old Lady Luo's eyes brightened at that. Do you know anyone from Paramount? Yes. Feng Ruqing smiled, calmly. I know Ju Ming. My friend had the same illness as you before, and that's why I could identify your illness. Ju Ming gave my friend a herbal dish, and he had even changed the herbal dish into a spirit herbal dish. I remember that prescription. I can just give that to you. Everyone knew that Paramount was famous for selling herbal dishes. Feng Ruqing had no choice but to let Ju Ming claim credit. She did not want the people from the Mu family to know that she was the provider of the herbal dishes in Paramount so as to prevent them from bothering her. Chapter 781, Old Lady Luo 3. This, Old Lady Luo grabbed Feng Ruqing's hands excitedly. Young lady, I don't know how I can express my gratitude toward you if my illness is cured. Is this prescription of the spirit herbal dish expensive? Don't worry. Just name the price. It'll definitely fulfill your demand. Sponsored Content Remove ads. I don't want to ask for anything just yet. If you feel bad about it and you do want to repay my kindness, just remember that you owe me. Keep it that way until you're feeling better. Good. Old Lady Luo was satisfied. If I'm cured, I'll never allow Qin Xiaoye to be a part of the Luo family. Xiao Laya will never be bullied again. Young lady, you're so beautiful and kind. By the way, you look like one of my old friends. Maybe that's why we're destined to meet. Old Lady Luo laughed. She had quite a good impression of Feng Ruqing when she met Feng Ruqing for the first time. Feng Ruqing seemed quite adorable if compared to the weak and sick lady of the Qin family. Sponsored Content Remove ads. Maybe it's because they resemble each other. Especially those eyes, eyebrows, and her facial expressions. The way she carries brings herself, she's so much like my old friend. An old friend? Feng Ruqing turned and looked at the old lady. She frowned slightly. She looked more like her mother compared to her father, though she resembled him too. Other than that, it was impossible that she resembled anyone else. There was no resemblance between her and Chenna even if he was indeed her younger brother who was taken from them. If not, she would have recognized him long ago. Sponsored Content Remove ads. Yes. The old lady held Feng Ruqing's hand and patted it lovingly. My old friend had sworn to be my late husband's brother. Our Luo family had wronged him deeply too. I've buried those feelings deep down in my heart, and not even Luo Fei or Luo Li know about them. I went to look for eternal spring because I hoped that I could live longer so that there's a possibility of meeting him again. Feng Ruqing was silent. She felt that it was impolite to listen to the old lady's deep troubles, but she was unwilling to stop her. That fellow is always reckless and arrogant. But he always values his people and never thinks about himself. My husband and I grew up in Tianshan Manor. That's why we did not understand his actions, sponsored content remove ads. Until his people were slaughtered by a group of people one day. They wiped out the entire population in that city. He was outrageous and he planned to wipe out the entire reclusive world. A smile crept onto the old lady's face slowly. She had never thought that he was wrong. She just didn't understand why he had always put everyone else before him without caring about himself. Yet, some people are resented by everyone else because of their actions. That fellow adored his people so much so that he would never leave them behind. The entire reclusive world was shocked at that time. He was alone, but he had slaughtered many cultivators from the reclusive world. He had killed numerous powerful people. In the end, the reclusive world was frightened. They felt an immense fear toward him. So, they united and planned to kill him together. The old lady seemed to show great respect and adoration for that person as she was talking. That battle lasted for 3 days. I'll never forget that day. He walked out of the battlefield, leaving behind corpses and skeletons. He was soaked in blood. The world thought that it was a draw between him and the reclusive world while claiming that the reclusive world was slightly weaker. But it was not so. He could surely wipe out the entire reclusive world given his immense talent. Chapter 782. I never thought that he was doing anything wrong even though I'm from the reclusive world. Sponsored content remove ads. He had not done anything wrong. Those people who had slaughtered his people were the ones to be blamed. He simply took revenge on them for his people. Moreover, he had even killed the people who took advantage of innocent people. But the reclusive world was afraid of his talent and they were fearful of his ability to change the state of the reclusive world. Therefore, they united all the forces to destroy him. Sponsored content remove ads. There were numerous powerful people in the reclusive world at that time. But, still, they did not manage to kill him. At first, my late husband was close to Master Qin. He appeared nice, but he was the worst of all. He was a hypocrite. My late husband assumed that Tian Yue could not beat the entire reclusive world alone. He wanted to save him. So, he had planned to gather some people to go and save him. But my late husband did not know how to differentiate the bad people from the good people. He knew only of bastards. Master Qin took that advantage and joined forces with the other families. They kidnapped my late husband and that old bastard used him to threaten Tian Yue. Consequently, Tian Yue was disturbed and he became nervous. He received an attack directly and that was why the battle ended abruptly. Sponsored content remove ads. Even so, I still think that Tian Yue did not lose that battle. If it was not for the Luo family's sake, he would have been able to start all over again even if he did not manage to change how things were in the reclusive world. But my late husband was kidnapped by them. Thus, Tian Yue had no choice but to use the last resort and threaten the reclusive world to sign a contract with him. There are only 2 rules in his contract. First, the reclusive world is not allowed to attack the secular world. Second, they cannot attack the Luo family. In return, he was willing to go to that place and never to return. The old lady started to tremble slightly when she had almost finished the tale. She smiled bitterly. Our Luo family owes him too much. I know what his worries were. At first, I planned to promise him to take care of his family. But Tian Yue was worried that I would expose his family. So, I did not dare to bother his family all these years. Sponsored content remove ads. Grandmother, Luo Li paled. Why am I unaware of all these things? The old lady smiled bitterly and shook her head. Don't be surprised. Even your father is unaware of all these things. Your grandfather passed away long ago because of the guilt he had toward Tian Yue. Only some superior people from the three forces knew about this then. Otherwise, how would the world see them if the world knew how they had protected the reclusive world with evil schemes? They would be humiliated. That's what I have promised when I signed the contract. Luo Li pursed her lips tightly. So, is that the reason why you dislike Qin Xiaoye from the beginning? Yes, I don't like them. Only Qin Feiya is rather nice in the Qin family. She doesn't have many intentions. But, I don't quite adore Qin Feiya too. She makes me uncomfortable. It might be because of that deceased old fellow in that family. Luo Li lowered her head. If grandmother had told her about this earlier, she would never have been friends with Qin Feiya. But she realized now. She knew what kind of people she should befriend. Qin Feiya was too selfish. But, the Luo family was not comfortable either. Although they had promised not to lay a hand on us, we no longer had superior status. Old Lady Luo laughed bitterly. What is worse is that I felt that my world had collapsed when my husband passed away. Chapter 783 Later. The old fellow from that Qin family always came to bother me. He pursued me when he was young. But, in the end, I chose my husband. He was dissatisfied. He came to make trouble in the Luo family even when my husband had not been dead for over 7 days. So, I used some tricks and killed him at last. He managed to cripple my cultivation before he died too. Sponsored Content Remove ads. The old lady did not mention what tricks she had used. But, one could guess that it must be a woman's beauty. Old Lady Luo sighed. Our lives became much better when Jiyusha killed the previous Tianshan Manor Master and became a Manor Master himself. We no longer endured the various pressure and intimidation. But, our Luo family still owes Tian Yue too much. Feng Ruqing was speechless. He had killed the previous Manor Master and replaced him as the previous master. It seemed that Jiyusha was a powerful person. Sponsored Content Remove ads. You said that I resemble your old friend. Are we much alike? Feng Ruqing asked after some silence. Yes, you look too much like him. That's why I couldn't help but tell you about this. I hope that you won't mind. Take it as an old woman's ramble, as it's been a long time since I spoke about my past to the others and I cannot hold it back anymore. The old lady laughed. Her husband had sworn to be his brother. But, his identity was too special and he had killed someone from the reclusive world even before that battle. Even though he did not kill many of them, but it still enraged many people. He offended quite a number of people at that time. Hence, he had always kept his identity a secret to prevent his family from being harmed by others. That's why they have never met his family. They just knew that he had a son just like him. Sponsored Content Remove ads. They had even joked about it at that time. If their grandchildren were to be a boy and a girl, they could be in-laws. One thinking about it, Tian Ya's son should be married by now. He might have had a child. She just didn't know whether it's a boy or a girl. Then, could you please tell me who your old friend is? Feng Ruqing raised her eyes and looked at the old lady and asked. The old lady shook her head. I promised him that he'll never talk about it in my life. It's a secret he'll keep with me for the rest of my life. He'll never speak of it even if I'm going to die. Young lady, it doesn't mean that I don't trust you. It's just that I've promised him never to speak of it and I must keep my promise. Feng Ruqing breathed a sigh of relief. She smiled happily. Sponsored Content Remove ads. If you're unwilling to talk about it, I'll not ask any more questions. If she was unwilling to talk about it, she would not force her. She could not force her to become a person who doesn't keep her promises. She was just suspicious about that old friend she talked about. But, she could still look it up through other means. I'll give you the prescription of the spirit herbal dish later. All you have to do is follow the prescription step by step to brew the spirit herbal dish. You'll be cured in less than a month. If you're healing faster, you'll be cured in half a month. Thank you so much, young lady. The old lady laughed. It's Xiao Lia's honor to be able to become your friend. Young lady, are you married? All of a sudden, Luo Li's eyes widened as she turned to look at the old lady. She asked, with dissatisfaction, Grandmother, Don't tell me you're trying to make Xiaoqing my stepmother. How can my father deserve her? Nonsense. You know how terrible your father is. How can he deserve her? Moreover, Xiaoqing is young and beautiful. Your dad is just an old man. What right does he have to be with a young girl? The old lady turned to look at Feng Ruqing again. Xiaoqing, I have a few nephews. Do you want to consider it? Feng Ruqing's face darkened. I already have someone I love. Oh, it's a pity, the old lady sighed. But, it's fine. I have a lot of nephews. If you find that you no longer like him, just inform me. I'll gather my nephews for you to pick. You can pick whomever you like. Feng Ruqing was speechless. Chapter 784. Brother and sister finally meet grandmother. Luo Li pouted. My cousins only know about cultivation and they do not have any compassion toward women. If Xiaoqing chooses one of my cousins, she would surely be bullied and wronged. Sponsored Content Remove ads. Those men have never had any notions of romance or love. They are hard like steel. We should find a companion who can warm the heart of a lady like Xiaoqing. It's fine even if my nephews are unsuitable for her. I still can recommend her some of the children of my husband's relatives. If it's really that difficult, we can look up all the families we have from the previous 18 generations. I don't believe that there's not even one person who is suitable for her. Luo Li was speechless. She felt that her grandmother had gone insane just to be someone's matchmaker. Feng Ruqing smiled slightly. Thank you for your kind thoughts. But, I only love him. Sponsored Content Remove ads. Oh. Old Lady Luo sighed again with a tinge of regret. It seemed to her that her family did not have a chance. Young Lady Xiaoqing, you must consider the choices I have offered you if you want to get married. Are the parents of the man you love still alive and healthy? What about their characteristics? One's future in-laws are important too. You must not let yourself be bullied or wronged. Old Lady Luo really cared deeply about Feng Ruqing then. It might be because of Feng Ruqing's act in sharing with her the prescription to cure her illnesses, or it might be because of Feng Ruqing's resemblance to Tian Ya. Feng Ruqing lowered her eyes. After a short while, she smiled and said, he comes from a single family. His mother is still alive. She treats me very well. His father is dead. That was right. Mu Ling was as good as dead to Nanxian and Su Yi. It was true that Nanxian came from a single-parent family. Then, it's good. The old lady smiled happily. Xiao Liar, we'll return to the Luo family later. Don't disturb young Lady Xiaoqing. But, you're welcome to visit us anytime at the Luo family. Sponsored Content Remove ads. Grandmother? Luo Li turned and looked at the old lady helplessly. Didn't we promise each other that we'll leave the Luo family together for good? That's when I thought that he'll live no longer. I have the cure now. How could I allow that woman from the Qin family to take over the Luo family? Old Lady Luo seemed weak now, but she still kept her dignity just like when she was young. Moreover, the Luo family was built up by her husband. I'll never allow anyone to take over it so easily. All right. Luo Li's excitement subsided. She thought that she would never have to return to the Luo family ever again. Sponsored Content Remove ads. If I don't return with my grandmother, she would totally be infuriated with Qin Xiaoye if I let her go home alone. Luo Li seemed to remember something. She turned and looked at Feng Ruqing. Xiaoqing, I'll bring Qin Chen to you. Qin Chen? The old lady was stunned. Are Feng Ruqing and Qin Chen related? In fact, the old lady did not have any bad impression on Qin Chen. He had always been cold and distant. But, he seemed like a cold breeze in the Qin family. The old lady could never really hate Qin Chen, and it might be because of the fact that Qin Chen did not have any blood ties with them. She even thought of arranging a marriage between Luo Li and him. That young man is a pitiful person too. The old lady did not speak thoughts in front of Feng Ruqing. She also did not voice out her doubts. She held on to her crutch and said, Liar, come, let's go home. Feng Ruqing did not say anything more up until that moment. She looked in the direction where the old lady had left with Luo Li. Her eyes were gentle. Chenna, were able to meet again at last. The old lady stopped walking when they were out of the manor. She frowned slightly. Liar, what is the relationship between young lady Xiao Qing and Qin Chen? Chapter 785. Oh, Qin Chen might be the man she loves. Luo Li suddenly remembered something just after she answered her grandmother's query. Her small face appeared shocked. No, she mentioned that the man's mother is alive. But Qin Chen is only an adopted son. It's not related to what she has said. Sponsored Content Remove ads. If that's the case, it would be better. Qin Chen is not suitable for young lady Xiao Qing. Why? Luo Li seemed shocked. Didn't you have a good impression on Qin Chen? Xiao Liar, there are a lot of things in the Qin family. You won't understand. The Qin family is just like a deep tiger's den to her unless Qin Chen leaves the Qin family for good. Although I have thought about arranging a marriage for the two of you, what I had in mind was that Qin Chen would leave the Qin family and come to be a part of the Luo family. It's because you're the only heiress of the Qin family and he could avoid being harmed by those people from the Qin family if he joins our family. The old lady laughed bitterly. But it is different for young lady Xiao Qing, unless Qin Chen leaves the Qin family. Otherwise, it will be a total disaster if she marries Qin Chen. She's so nice and beautiful. Surely, I'm unwilling to see her endure all those sufferings. But our Luo family is not bad too. Are we unable to protect her? Luo Li pursed her lips tightly. The old lady glanced at Luo Li meaningfully. If your grandfather were still alive and healthy, if I was still powerful, if your father is not being charmed by that vixen, all things would have been possible. But how can we protect her given our state now? Luo Fei was the most powerful person in the entire Luo family. Sponsored Content Remove ads. However, Luo Fei had fallen for Qin Xiaoye. Now, Luo Fei could oppose me for Qin Xiaoye's sake. It's impossible that he would bother himself with that. However, Luo Li was different. Luo Li was still Luo Fei's daughter no matter what. If she was bullied by her parents-in-law, surely Luo Fei would not be quiet about it. So, the people from the Qin family would not bully her so much. It was what the old lady had in mind. Luckily, the person young lady Xiao Qing loves might not be Qin Chen. If that's the case, I'm relieved. Grandmother. Luo Li pursed her lips tightly. Even if the man Xiao Qing loves is not Qin Chen, we can do nothing if the Qin family prohibits Qin Chen from getting in touch with Xiao Qing. Sponsored Content Remove ads. Feng Ruqing had helped Luo Li for quite a few times now. Luo Li wanted to return the favor, too, this time. Old lady Luo stopped in her path and laughed bitterly. We owe young lady Xiao Qing for saving my life. Surely I'll not leave her behind. We'll see how things are in the future. It's the best if we could kick Qin Xiaoye out of the Luo family. If she's not there to instigate Luo Fei to do bad things, Luo Fei would never be unfilial toward me. Luo Fei breathed a sigh of relief softly. If her grandmother was on her side, everything was possible. Otherwise, they would just have to cause a really bad scene and threaten him into obedience with their lives. If he still could not care less about them, he would be infamous for indirectly causing the death of his mother and daughter. We'll see how he will react. At the Qin family. Sponsored Content Remove ads. In the manor. It was peaceful and quiet. A young man stood next to the lake with a hand behind his back. His silhouette seemed tall. It was a thin and lean figure. It seemed that his handsome face was covered with layers of frost. He appeared so cold and distant. But he had a pair of eyes that were crystal clear. They were even purer than the water in the lake. They were just like the pure sky. Chenna. A soft voice was heard from behind him. The young man subconsciously hid the hairpin in his sleeves. He did not turn around to face the person who had spoken to him. He did not even turn his head. Qin Fei stood behind Qin Chen. There was a helpless smile on her beautiful and gentle face. Although Qin Chen was cold and distant just like before, he would at least have given her some kind of response before this. Chapter 786. But Qin Chen was not bothered about Qin Fei anymore when he was back at that time. Sponsored content remove ads. She knew that her selfish acts were the reason behind it. Her selfishness had finally hurt Chenna. But who would not be charmed by a man as strong and powerful as a god? So, she did not regret the decision that she had made. Chenna, I have brought you some food from heaven. Come and eat it while it's still warm. The young man remained quiet. It was as if he did not hear what she had just said. There was only one captivating figure in his mind now. He could not help but smile a little. However, Qin Fei was standing behind Qin Chen, so she did not see his smile. Sponsored content remove ads. Young lady. The maid, Liu Xia, was infuriated by Qin Chen's behavior. She could not help but say, he won't ever appreciate you no matter how nice you treat him. If it's not the Qin family, he would have been dead by now. He even treats you like this. He's just an ungrateful white-eyed wolf. Enough. Qin Fei's facial expression changed slightly. She scolded Liu Xia, angrily, don't bring it up anymore. We're the ones who have wronged Chenna. Those maids and servants did not know about Qin Chen's birth. But she was his elder sister and she knew, clearly, about his birth. That was why she was guilty and had even advised her parents several times now. But now, she had no choice because she wanted to be a part of the Mu family. So, she would never allow those people to bully Qin Chen. If not, her guilt would deepen each and every day. Sponsored content remove ads. The smile on Qin Chen's face disappeared slowly. He turned around calmly. Then, he walked past Qin Fei without even glancing at her. Qin Fei was stunned. She was still holding the food containers in her hands. She was pale. There seemed to be tears in her eyes. Young lady. Liu Xia stamped her feet and said, agonized, I can't endure it anymore. It's clear that he, Liu Xia, Qin Fei was using a much angrier voice. She was outraged. If you treat him like that again in the future, you don't have to serve me anymore. Chenna is still my younger brother no matter what. He's still our young master. Liu Xia froze at that remark. She lowered her head and remained quiet. She still seemed angry. On top of the grievance, there was also the hatred and annoyance she had toward Qin Chen. Sponsored content remove ads. Young master. A servant approached Qin Chen when he walked away just now. He did not address Qin Chen respectfully. But his voice was filled with sarcasm and contempt. The young lady from the Luo family came to meet you. Qin Fei was the only one who adored Qin Chen in the whole household. Even the manor master and the lady treated Qin Chen with contempt. Therefore, the servants had never respected Qin Chen. Qin Chen stopped walking and turned to walk toward the backyard. Qin Chen, don't leave. The people from the Qin family did not stop Luo Li given that it was a habit of her to come to the Qin family and meet with Qin Fei. Therefore, Luo Li became nervous when she saw that Qin Chen was leaving. She rushed forward and stopped him in his track. Qin Chen, don't leave. Luo Li's face was red with nervousness. She was panting. I want to meet you about something. Just come with me. You'll regret it if you don't come with me. There were too many people in the Qin family so she could not say much there. What was important was she needed to bring Qin Chen with her. Qin Chen walked past Luo Li toward his own room. Luo Li was anxious. Her gaze fell on the hairpin in Qin Chen's hands. Chapter 787. Brother and sister finally meet for the hairpin seemed so familiar to Luo Li. Sponsored content remove ads. It looks like Xiao Qing's hairpin. Luo Li suddenly recalled Feng Ruqing telling her that she had a pair of hairpins that were capable of condensing spiritual qi. Hence, Feng Ruqing always wore it wherever she went. It was a pity that someone had stolen one of them. Hence, she only had one of them left. Seeing the hairpin in Qin Chen's hand, Luo Li's eyes lit up with joy. She quickly rushed over to stop Qin Chen. I've seen this before. Luo Li's eyes lit up as she pointed at the hairpin in Qin Chen's hand. Qin Chen paused and tightened his grip on the hairpin. He stared at Luo Li. Sponsored content remove ads. Come with me, or you will regret it. Luo Li said earnestly as she stared solemnly at Qin Chen. All right, Qin Chen answered after pondering for a while. Hearing Qin Chen's answer, Luo Li was thrilled. She could finally do something for Feng Ruqing. Sponsored content remove ads. As soon as Qin Fei and her servant, Liu Xia, stepped out of the garden, they bumped into Qin Chen, who was walking toward the manor's gate with Luo Li. As the people in the Qin family cared about their reputation so much, they had never restricted Qin Chen to do anything he wished. Hence, if Qin Chen wanted to leave the Qin family, simply no one would stop him. Young Lady Qin, it is no wonder that he dares to ignore you. He's actually in touch with the manor lady of the Luo family. Young Lady Qin, don't worry about him anymore. The Qin family has always been treating him so well and has never failed to provide him with food and drink. However, he has never appreciated it. Liu Xia sneered. How long Qina and Luo Li have been together? Qin Fei was lost in thought. As she did not pay attention to Liu Xia's words, she did not stop her. Just as Qin Fei regained her focus, she could clearly see an unprecedented emotion creeping into Qin Chen's cold eyes, but she could not tell whether it was agitation or excitement. Sponsored content remove ads. Did you see the emotion on Qina's face just now? Qin Fei clenched her fists tightly. An oppressive feeling grew in her heart. Qin Chen had always been cold and had never really shown any emotions on his face, let alone smile. Hence, Qin Fei did not care how Qin Yu treated her, as she knew that Qin Chen had been treating everyone the same way. But now, Qin Chen had proved her wrong. Young Lady Qin, startled, Liu Xia turned to look at Qin Chen. It's not something bad for Qina to have feelings and desires. At least, he won't treat me coldly anymore. However, why, since he actually has other emotions, why is he treating me so coldly all this while? Qin Fei lowered her eyes, the corner of her lips curved into a bitter smile. His sister. As father and mother don't like him, his dearest person in the world. Why does Qin Chen treat me like this? Qin Fei could hardly stand upright. Her lips were trembling and tears streamed down her face. Qin Fei was Qin Chen's dearest person in the world, yet he was so close to Luo Li and did not even allow Qin Fei to walk near him. Qin Fei had never seen Qin Chen get so close to Luo Li before. Although Qin Fei knew that both Qin Chen and she would marry someone else, she could not accept the fact that Qin Chen was treating another lady better than his own sister. Chapter 788, Liu Xia, don't let my parents know about this. They would never let Qin Chen be with Luo Li. Qin Fei wiped off the tears and smiled softly. Sponsored content remove ads. If Qin Chen was truly in contact with the Luo family, then the Qin family could no longer make Qin Chen a drug primer. Therefore, if Qin Fei's parents knew this, it would bring more harm than good to Qin Chen. However, Qin Fei trusted Qin Chen. Although Qin Chen had always been cold to her, she knew that Qin Chen cared for her. Otherwise, he would never have returned to the Qin family. Hence, even if Qin Chen wanted to leave the Qin family with Luo Li, he would not do so until Qin Fei's health had improved. All right, young Lady Qin. Liu Xia pursed her lips together as she answered reluctantly. Let's go. Qin Fei glanced in the direction that Qin Chen had left and then turned to walk away, slowly. Sponsored content remove ads. Feng Ruqing was leaning lazily against a pillar of a summer house. The golden sunlight poured over, her body was basked in the warm glistening rays of sunshine. Suddenly, a familiar voice spoke as if a few centuries had passed. Ching-ching. Feng Ruqing glanced sideways only to see a stunning face appeared before her eyes. The young master before her eyes was no longer the adolescent young man. He had turned into a mature gentleman. Sponsored content remove ads. However, Feng Ruqing knew that Qin Chen was still the boy he used to be. With a bashful smile on his face, he was sparkling clean and pure like the rising sun. Feng Ruqing got up slowly. A gust of light breeze blew. In a flash, the young master was standing before Feng Ruqing and drawing her into his arms. He missed her so badly. He could feel the warmth from her body. That was the only warmth he felt and craved. He could even leave everything behind for this. Feng Ruqing reached out to stroke Qin Chen's back gently. Sponsored content remove ads. Besides the state preceptor, no one could hug her. However, Qin Chen had always been an exception. Previously, Qin Chen was Feng Ruqing's brother in Huaxia. Simply no one could cut Qin Chen out of her life. Perhaps, Qin Chen was her kin who shared the same bloodline in this life too. Hence, she did not reject his hug. Qing, I missed you. I am here to take you home. Feng Ruqing's lips lifted as she patted his back. Qin Chen's body stiffened. After a while, he let go of the lady in his arms. Qing, would you please give me some time? I am in the middle of something. I will go home with you after I have taken care of everything. How have you been at the Qin family? Fan Ruqing raised her eyes to look at Qin Chen's face. I'm fine, don't worry. Because of you, I will not let anyone hurt me. Qin Chen's fingers slid through the strand of hair on Feng Ruqing's forehead as he broke into a bright and warm smile. Qin Chen would never let anyone hurt him, not even the slightest bit. A glimmer of wickedness flashed in his eyes but quickly faded away as he was afraid that Feng Ruqing could feel that something was wrong. The corner of his lips curved into a smile. Standing not far away, Luo Li saw the whole incident unfold before her. Her glazed eyes wandered over Qin Chen and Feng Ruqing. She did not know if Qin Chen and Feng Ruqing were in the kind of relationship that she had thought of before. However, as both of them were so close to each other just like the way Luo Li and the little fox were, if Qin Chen was not Feng Ruqing's kin, he must hold a special place in Feng Ruqing's heart. Chapter 789. Luo Li had never thought that Qin Chen, who had always been cold and nonchalant, could be so warm and caring. Sponsored content remove ads. China, could you tell me what are you going to do? Feng Ruqing subconsciously held onto Qin Chen's hand as she asked anxiously. I want to be stronger. I want to be very strong so that no one can hurt you anymore. Qin Chen smiled. Qin Chen did not want anyone to hurt Feng Ruqing or steal her happiness because Feng Ruqing was the person dearest to him in this world. Qing, trust me. I am perfectly fine. No one can hurt me. Qin Chen held onto Feng Ruqing's hand tightly. You can cultivate when I'm not by your side. Feng Ruqing stared at Qin Chen for a while before she said. Sponsored content remove ads. Yeah. I can protect you one day. Not only your safety, I can protect everything that you want. Alright, I trust you this time. Since you are in Tianshan Manor, I will stay here too. No matter what happens, I will face it together with you. Since Qin Chen wanted to do something, all Feng Ruqing could do was to support and trust him. She would never stop him and she would do everything she could to help him. Luo Li was standing behind both of them. Seeing this, she knew that it was not good to interrupt them. Hence, she decided to leave, silently. Just as she was about to leave, Feng Ruqing called out to her. Luo Li, today, thank you. No, I should thank you instead. I just helped to get him out of the Qin family, but you had saved my grandmother. Luo Li turned her head around with a smile on her face. Sponsored content remove ads. Anyway, I want to thank you. I can't get close to the Qin family yet. Fortunately, you helped me out. Feng Ruqing turned her head slowly, her eyes were fixed on Qin Chen. Chenna, if you want to meet me, you can come together with Luo Li. Dumbfounded, Qin Chen did not know why Feng Ruqing had said this. Feng Ruqing held onto Qin Chen's hands tightly. After all, she could not tell Qin Chen that he might be her biological brother. It was just Feng Ruqing and Juming's guess. Simply no one knew if that was true. Currently, she could not give Qin Chen so much hope. Hence, Feng Ruqing wanted to look into it more, starting with the Qin family. Naturally, she could not let the people in the Qin family know the relationship between Qin Chen and herself. Sponsored content remove ads. Chenna, Feng Ruqing called out to Qin Chen once again. Alright, I will meet you together with her. Qin Chen pursed his lips. He could never reject Feng Ruqing. Hearing this, Luo Li was overjoyed as she could meet Feng Ruqing frequently in the future. Also, give my hairpin back to me. Feng Ruqing paused for a while and stretched her hand out. Qin Chen was dumbfounded. I know it was you who took it. That jade hairpin was given to me by Nan Xian. It was a gift from Suyi. They came in a pair. I could give you something else if you want. In fact, Feng Ruqing did not know that the jade hairpin actually belonged to the White Phoenix. The White Phoenix had nicked it from a master, but Nan Xian had taken it away from the White Phoenix together with other treasures and gave them all to Feng Ruqing. Nan Xian had even told Feng Ruqing that it was a gift from his mother. Hence, Feng Ruqing had no idea that the jade hairpin belonged to the White Phoenix. You never wear other hairpins beside this. Qin Chen merely frowned. Chenna, Feng Ruqing said, helplessly. Qin Chen could not help but take out the jade hairpin and hand it over to Feng Ruqing reluctantly. Feng Ruqing broke into a smile. Standing nearby, Luo Li's dazed face changed. A look of disbelief and shock crept into her eyes. Wait, what did I just hear? Nan Xian? Chapter 790. A friend will never let you down. I Xiao Qing. Luo Li turned her head stiffly and stared at Feng Ruqing. Sponsored Content Remove Ads. Nan Xian, is your lover that you told my grandmother about before? Is he Mu Nanxian from the Mu family? His name is Nan Xian, not Mu Nanxian. Feng Ruqing's face darkened a few shades. Luo Li heaved a sigh of relief. She did not want Feng Ruqing to get together with Nan Xian, as Nan Xian's marriages had been called off twice. There must be something wrong with him. Hence, Nan Xian was no match for Feng Ruqing. Shortly after, Luo Li was dumbstruck by Feng Ruqing's subsequent remark. Because Mu Ling is not worthy of being his father. Sponsored Content Remove Ads. Luo Li's face was drained of blood. She held on to Feng Ruqing's arm, anxiously. Xiao Qing, listen to me. You must not get married to Nan Xian. Why? Because. Luo Li pursed her lips tightly as she hesitated whether to tell Feng Ruqing the truth. Nan Xian has been dumped twice. If the rumor is true that he is a rare talent, why would those ladies called off the marriages? Luo Li could not bear seeing such a gentle and kind lady being left in the dark. Hence, she told Feng Ruqing, earnestly. Perhaps, Nan Xian was not as stunning his portrait or was impotent. If that was true, how could he make Feng Ruqing happy? Sponsored Content Remove Ads. Feng Ruqing was dumbstruck by Luo Li's remarks. It seemed that Nan Xian's reputation had been pretty much ruined. Qing. Qin Chen's gaze fell on Feng Ruqing's face. What have you done to his betrothed again? First, it was only Tang Yin, now there is another lady. Didn't Tang Yin fight that lady? After a while, Qin Chen asked, bashfully. I didn't do anything. I didn't even know who his betrothed is this time. It has nothing to do with me. Feng Ruqing subconsciously took a few steps backward. Qing, you truly have no idea how many ladies would fall for you. Don't be too gentle to them in the future. Otherwise, you can never get rid of them. The corner of Qin Chen's lips lifted. Sponsored Content Remove Ads. Previously Tang Yin had called off the marriage with Nan Xian. Now, Nan Xian was being dumped once again. It must have something to do with Feng Ruqing. Now that Feng Ruqing was here in Tianchen Manor, Luo Li had come into the picture too. Feng Ruqing was truly a flirting expert. She was even better than men. In telling the truth, I don't know his second betrothed. Naturally, I couldn't have done anything to her. Feng Ruqing's face darkened. Alright, this must have nothing to do with Qing. She did not ruin Nan Xian's reputation. Hearing Qin Chen, Luo Li stared at Feng Ruqing in bewilderment, wondering what Nan Xian's engagements had to do with Feng Ruqing. Chapter 791. Once again, Luo Li stared at Feng Ruqing in awe. Perhaps, of all the people in the world, only Feng Ruqing was capable of turning her love rival into Nan Xian's love rival. She would definitely drive the people of the Mu family mad if they knew this. Sponsored Content Remove Ads. Feng Ruqing was rendered speechless hearing Qin Chen's remarks. How embarrassing. Could you stop talking about it? It seemed that Feng Ruqing had truly ruined Nan Xian's reputation. Thinking of this, Feng Ruqing turned her head around to look at Luo Li. Nan Xian really has a bad reputation in Tianshan Manor? Feng Ruqing asked with a low voice. Sponsored content remove ads. Luo Li nodded desperately as she spoke. Previously, Nan Xian had been rejected once. It was Tang Yin's grandfather who had gone to the Mu family to call off the engagement. He was nearly killed by the people of the Mu family. Fortunately, Tianshan Manor had a strict rule. Hence, they let go of him finally. Tang Yin's grandfather. Isn't he the first elder of the Tang family? Feng Ruqing was startled. She had never thought that the first elder of the Tang family would personally call off the engagement. It was no wonder people of the Mu family were so mad. Originally, not many people in Tianshan Manor knew about this betrothal. When Tang Yi had called it off, it had rocked Tianshan Manor. Although Feng Ruqing did not know how Tang Yi got into Tianshan Manor, she felt grateful for the things that he had done. She felt grateful for whoever created a stir in the Mu family. Sponsored content remove ads. The second annulment is even more awful, said Luo Li with a bright smile. The manor master, Ji Yusha, personally went to the Mu family. Simply no one knows what had actually happened. The only thing we know was that Ji Yusha had lost his temper as if someone in the Mu family had deceived him. Hence, this was once again widely spread in Tianshan Manor. That was not all. Luo Li paused before she continued. Before that, the Mu family had arranged many concubines for Nan Xian. After Ji Yusha had created a stir in the Mu family, everyone knows that there is something wrong with Nan Xian. Since then, some clans with strong foothold in this realm did not want to let their daughters step into the Mu family and had broken off the betrothals. On top of that, their daughters would only be Nan Xian's concubines. As for those clans without a strong foothold, the Mu family would never even have spared a glance at them. Currently, only Qin Feiya still maintained the arranged marriage. It was no wonder that the Mu family still had good ties with the Qin family. Sponsored content remove ads. Feng Ruqing was rendered speechless once again. This thing really had nothing to do with her. However, if she told Nan Xian that she was not involved, would Nan Xian trust her? The people of the Mu family had been keeping the manor master, Ji Yusha, in the dark that they are selecting concubines for Nan Xian. Hence, when Ji Yusha found out about it, he was furious. I knew this since the very beginning as they have approached me before. However, my grandmother doesn't want me to be a concubine. Hence, she did not accept the arranged marriage. Luo Li looked hard at Feng Ruqing. Later on, the old lady thought of marrying Luo Li to Nan Xian as she wanted to get someone to take care of Luo Li. However, she would never let Luo Li be a concubine. The old lady thought that since Nan Xian had lost his reputation and many people had broken off the marriage arrangements, the Mu family might agree to make Luo Li Nan Xian's first wife. However, now that Luo Li was in love with the little fox, she would not marry someone whom she had never met before. Fortunately, the old lady did not accept the arranged marriage with Nan Xian. Otherwise, Luo Li would have lost a friend, Feng Ruqing. That was by far the most fortunate thing that had happened to Luo Li. Luo Li was different from Qin Feiya and the rest. She would never lose her mind over a stunning face in a portrait and be trapped by a scheme arranged by the people of the Mu family. All of these ladies had good family backgrounds but were willing to be Nan Xian's concubines. Had the men in the world gone extinct? Chapter 792. It seems that Mu Ling is quite a fool and terribly greedy. Feng Ruqing furrowed her brows, unsure of how to feel. Sponsored content remove ads. The manor master had the loftiest power in Tianshan Manor, but Mu Ling had actually arranged marriage with the manor master's daughter for Nan Xian, but at the same time, also selecting so many concubines for Nan Xian. He was no doubt seeking his own demise. Yes, he is. The old master of the Mu family was the one who had built up the entire Mu family and had established a strong footing in this realm. Later on, the Mu family had strengthened its foothold with the marriage between Lady Suyi and Mu Ling. However, the Mu family had gone downhill since Lady Suyi left the Mu family. Luo Li pursed her lips, disdainfully. Perhaps, The people of the Mu family did this as they were worried about losing their power. The people who have accepted the arranged marriage had accepted because of Nanxian. As Lady Suyi was so ethereal and otherworldly, perhaps Nanxian would not be that inferior to her. Hence, they thought that the Mu family's status would be even higher in the future. Since none of you have met Nanxian before, do you really believe in the things that Mu Ling had said about Nanxian? Sponsored Content Remove ads. We haven't met Nanxian before, but the Manor Master had. Even the Manor Master holds Nanxian with such high regard, no one would doubt the things that Mu Ling had said. Moreover, Mu Ling said that Nanxian would return to the Mu family one day. Naturally, Mu Ling would not lie about this. Otherwise, he would lose his reputation. The Manor Master, Jiyu Shi, had once asserted that Nanxian would be the strongest in Tianshan Manor. Perhaps, he would be more powerful than Tianya. Naturally, the ladies out there looked forward to being married to Nanxian. They were so eager to step into the Mu family even though they would end up being concubines. Oh, Feng Ruqing answered, weakly. The people in Tianshan Manor were nothing but a bunch of fools. They had believed all of Mu Ling's deceitful words. The state preceptor was really something, but he belonged to Feng Ruqing. Oh yeah. Xiao Qing, I thought you said that the person you love only has a mother. Luo Li stared blankly at Feng Ruqing. Sponsored Content Remove ads. Well, to them, Mu Ling is dead. Just treat him as if he is already dead in the future. Why? Although Lady Suyi had left the Mu family in a fit of despair, Mu Ling said that Nanxian has always been filial and obedient to him. Startled, Luo Li looked more and more confused. Don't let Nanxian hear this. Otherwise, he would tie Mu Ling to the city's gate and whip him to show his filial piety. Feng Ruqing sneered. One Nanxian had always been filial to Mu Ling? That was total nonsense. Mu Ling had upset Nanxian, so why would Nanxian be filial to him? All of us had been fooled by Mu Ling. How dare he lie to the people of Tianshan Manor? He truly does not fear that things might get out of his hands. The corner of Luo Li's mouth twitched. Sponsored Content Remove ads. Xiao Qing, Luo Li pursed her lips tightly. You must be careful of the people of the Qin family. Qin Feiya is desperate to marry Nanxian. Now that many people have called off the betrothals to Nanxian, perhaps she wants to be Nanxian's first wife. Previously, as Jiyu was the Manor Master's daughter, no one had dared to fight with Jiyu. Now that the Manor Master had broken off the marriage with Nanxian, the Qin family was no doubt the strongest among the rest. Qin Feiya would give up. Luo Li's grandmother said that the Qin family would resort to any means and might inevitably put Feng Ruqing into trouble. Qing, Luo Li is on good terms with Qin Feiya. Qin Chen subconsciously held onto Feng Ruqing's hand and glanced at Luo Li. That was the reason why Qin Chen did not want to talk to Luo Li in the Qin family. Had it not been for the fact that Luo Li could take him out to meet Feng Ruqing, he would not have spared a glance at Luo Li. But Luo Li's face darkened. She was afraid that Feng Ruqing believed in Qin Chen's words, so she explained, hastily. No, I am no longer on good terms with Qin Feiya. Chapter 793. A friend will never let you down. For since when? Feng Ruqing turned to look at Luo Li. Sponsored Content Remove ads. It happened just now, in Paramount. I literally broke up with her. It was because, as compared to Qin Xiaoye, Luo Li could never be Qin Feiya's kin. Even if Qin Feiya knew that Luo Li was injured, Qin Feiya did not avenge Luo Li but had advised Luo Li to be more considerate and never stir up trouble so Qin Xiaoye could marry Luo Li's father successfully. Since childhood, Qin Feiya had always been guiding Luo Li like an elder and had taught her to render good for evil. However, Luo Li disliked Qin Xiaoye. Who does she think she is? Why must I humor Qin Xiaoye? She knew that my arm was hurt but she didn't let me go. Am I not a human too? I was on good terms with Qin Feiya before. We were friends since childhood. As I was thoughtless and insensible back then, Qin Feiya had always guided me to be kind to others. Hence, I would bury all my grievances even if I was wronged. She told me that I would lose all my friends if I fought back. In order to be lovable, I must be gentle and sensible. Sponsored content remove ads. I trusted her so much and treated her like my dearest sister in the world. However, who cares about my sorrow? It is not my fault. Why must I take a step back? When I have finally grown up, I didn't want to step back anymore, but she wouldn't stop guiding me. Moreover, I was afraid that her health would worsen if I ignored her words. Hence, I put up with all the nonsense before her and would only settle scores when she was not around. My mother gave me a jade pendant before she passed away. I wore it when I went out a few years ago. When Mu Huan saw it, he wanted to take it away from me. I refused to give it to him, but Qin Fei stopped me. She wanted me to be generous and never fight him. She said that she would give me another jade pendant when I returned home. But that was my mother's. I knew that I was no match to Mu Huan. So, I asked my father to get it back for me. Back then, Luo Li's father had not fallen for Qin Xiaoya yet. Naturally, he had defended Luo Li. However, the things that Qin Fei had done had broken Luo Li's heart. If Luo Li must be so generous to give her mother's jade pendant away so that everyone would love her, then she did not want to be a lovable person. Sponsored content remove ads. If not for that strong friendship with Qin Fei, Luo Li would have cut Qin Fei out of her life back then. However, once there was a fissure in a relationship, be it a friendship or romantic relationship, it would never be as strong as it was before. With just a small trigger, the relationship would fall apart. Apparently, Feng Ruqing was the trigger. When Luo Li was overwhelmed by grief, it was Feng Ruqing who had walked over, pushed Qin Fei away, and got her away from the crowd. Unlike Qin Fei, Feng Ruqing did not advise Luo Li to forgive others. She simply helped Luo Li, silently. Perhaps, that was what a true friend really meant. Indeed, Qin Fei is an all-rounder. I am no match for her. Everyone likes her so much, but I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be wronged anymore. Sponsored content remove ads. Thinking of all the grievances buried in her heart, she could no longer hold back tears. Luo Li, a friend would never let you down. Feng Ruqing stared solemnly at Luo Li. Feng Ruqing was right. A true friend would never let you down. I understand it now. Perhaps, Qin Fei has never treated me as a friend since the beginning. I was just flattering myself. It doesn't matter, I don't care about her anymore. I don't like people who don't care about me. There's nothing else that I want in my life. Chenna. Feng Ruqing was stunned. Then, I will listen to you. If I find my biological parents, I will meet them if you want me to do so. Is that all right? Qin Chen paused for a while and stared at Feng Ruqing's face. Luo Li's eyes were fixed on Qin Chen. Although Luo Li had known Qin Chen for years, he had always been cold and nonchalant. Now, the way he was treating Feng Ruqing was completely different. He had never treated Qin Fei like this before. If Qin Fei knew this, she would be furious. Would she still be gentle, kind, and generous? Luo Li could not wait to see what would happen to Qin Fei when she lost her mind. Chenna, it's getting late, you should go back. Feng Ruqing looked at the sky and then at Qin Chen. I will stay here for a while, and you can meet me anytime. All right, Qin Chen said, reluctantly. Chapter 795. Qin Chen knew that he might put Feng Ruqing into trouble if he stayed there for too long. Hence, he glanced at Feng Ruqing before he turned to leave. Sponsored content remove ads. Soon after Qin Chen left, Luo Li, too, left Feng Ruqing as Luo Li could not bear to leave the old lady alone in the manor alone for too long. When Luo Li returned to the Luo family, the manor was a mess. The old lady was holding her heaving chest as she raged and hit the crutch on the ground, hard. She could hardly stand upright. Standing helplessly nearby, Luo Fei wanted to help the old lady to stand, but the old lady swung her crutch and hit the back of his hand. Grandmother. Flying into great panic, Luo Li rushed over. Her furious gaze was fixed on Luo Fei. Sponsored content remove ads. What have you done to grandmother? Luo Li used to call Luo Fei her father, but she had stopped now. Her eyes were blazing with furious rage. Liar, I have brought someone to treat your grandmother, but she has turned us down. Since you are her most beloved granddaughter, please help me to persuade her, Luo Fei said, helplessly. Stop acting. I will find a cure for grandma's illness. I don't need your help. Luo Li snorted as she helped the old lady toward the backyard. Luo Fei's face stiffened. He stood behind both of them, watching them leave. The sight cast a chill all over his body, freezing his blood and piercing his heart. Sponsored content remove ads. Luo Fei, Qin Feier has helped me get Grandmaster Hai Rong to treat the old lady. Unfortunately, the old lady has turned us down. Hence, it has nothing to do with me. The corner of Qin Xiaoye's lips curved into a sneer. Originally, Qin Xiaoye had never thought of getting Grandmaster Hai Rong to treat the old lady, as she knew that the Grandmaster Hai Rong had a lofty temperament. Naturally, Qin Xiaoye was not capable of getting him to help. Previously, she had promised Luo Fei to get the Grandmaster Hai Rong to treat the old lady, so Luo Fei could not bear to part with her. Fortunately, the old lady had rejected them. Otherwise, she would have to think of an excuse to postpone it. I will convince my mother. Even if she is angry with me, she must not risk her life in a fit of anger. Luo Fei smiled, wryly. Qin Xiaoye squinted. Suddenly, the lady who had taken Luo Li away from Paramount flashed through her mind. Thinking of this, her lips curved into an evil smirk. Sponsored content remove ads. 1-inch Luo Fei, you should keep an eye on Xiao Li. I saw her together with a strange lady today. Xiao Li has grown up. She has the right to choose her friends, Luo Fei said after hesitating. Qin Xiaoye's face darkened a few shades. Luo Fei had always been tolerating all the wrongdoings that Luo Li had done. Luo Li was nothing but a young lady who had no filial piety and did not know how to respect the elders. Why did Luo Fei always indulge her? If Qin Xiaoye were Luo Li's mother, she would have beaten the crap out of Luo Li. Luo Fei, I will be Lia's parent in the future. Since you have a one-track mind, I must take good care of her. She has the right to choose her own friends, but she must not hang around with disagreeable people. Otherwise, she would be led astray. Don't you think Lia has changed a lot recently? Luo Fei merely frowned. Qin Xiaoye was right. Although Lia disliked Qin Xiaoye, she had never shown it on her face and had never disregarded her father. Luo Li had always been cordial and obedient, simply no one knew when she had changed. Chapter 796, GUE of the GU family too. Besides, don't you know what kind of person Feier is? That dubious woman did not like Feier appearing in front of Lia, so she pushed Feier to the ground. Luckily, Feier is a lot stronger now. If anything happens to her, do you think Grandmaster Hai Rong will let that woman go? The relationship between Feier and Mu Huan has always been great since childhood. You need to think carefully about many things. Sponsored content remove ads. Moreover, Qin Xiaoye frowned. Lia's behavior has hurt Feier. I have persuaded Feier to stay away from Lia several times. However, Feier is soft-hearted. Hence, she did not listen to me. She had always treated Lia like her younger sister. She is even nicer when Lia treats her even just a little better than usual. But in the end, Lia still abandoned her. Luo Fei pursed his lips, discomfort written on his face. Maybe there is a misunderstanding between Lia and Feier. They just have to resolve the misunderstanding. Lia is the kind of person who knows how to distinguish right from wrong. He would defend Qin Xiaoye in front of Luo Li. However, he could not bear Qin Xiaoye criticizing Luo Li. These two, one was the person he loved and the other one was his own daughter. He only hoped that they could get along with each other peacefully. Even if they could not treat each other like loved ones, he hoped that at least they would respect each other. Luo Fei. Qin Xiaoye's eyes showed hatred. I am telling you all these for Lia's sake. You, sponsored content remove ads. I know that you care about Lia, but she has her own freedom. Even if that girl is really bad, The Luo family doesn't have any dealings with her. However, I can't stop Laya. Especially when his daughter was already ignoring him now. If he continued this, Laya would really hate him forever. At the chief manor. Compared to the tranquility of other manors, the chief manor was totally out of control and had become a scene of turmoil. Gue held the celadon high in her hands. She stared at the middle-aged man in front with her big eyes. You won't let me go. Jiyusha's heart was about to stop beating. He was about to cry. My little devil, can't you just put down the thing in your hands? Sponsored content remove ads. Crash. The celadon was smashed onto the ground, hard, breaking into a million pieces. Then she tore down the painting on the wall and stared angrily at Jiyusha. Will you let me go, now? My dear daughter, what are you going to do? Jiyusha finally cried, desperately. Fortunately, there were no other people there, otherwise, his reputation would be ruined. I want to go out and leave this horrible place. Sponsored content remove ads. Jiyusha was aggrieved. Little devil, this is your home, the place where you have grown up. Why do you say that this is a horrible place? Rip. Gue tore the painting. The painting that Jiyusha had spent a lot of money on was ripped into half. He was so distressed that his whole body twitched. I don't care. I'm leaving Tien Shan Manor. I'm going to Liu Yun Kingdom. I'm going back to Liu Yun Kingdom. Jiyusha's mouth twitched twice. His baby girl had just left the house once. How could this not be her home anymore? What was so good about Liu Yun Kingdom? Was it better than her own home? Gue had raised another celadon vase high up in the air. Just as she wanted to smash it, Jiyusha spoke. Little devil, can you tell me why you want to go to Liu Yun Kingdom? She was silent for a moment. Because the woman I like is in Liu Yun Kingdom. The woman she liked. Woman. Jiyusha's face darkened. His eyes were filled with anger. Mu Ling. He gritted his teeth furiously as if he wanted to hack Mu Ling into pieces. Mu Ling, you asshole. How dare he lies to me? He has lied to me more than once. When Mu Ling had come to propose the marriage, he had immediately agreed without giving it a second thought because Nanxian was indeed good enough. But the main reason was that Nanxian did not have any wife. However, he did not expect Mu Ling to secretly look for so many concubines for Nanxian. How could his daughter endure such things? He was still very furious although the marriage had already been cancelled. If it were not for the Mu family's old master, he would have gone to settle accounts with Mu Ling by now. Not to mention that Nanxian already had someone he liked. After all, he had never liked the Mu family. He only liked Nanxian. Chapter 798. Nanxian already had someone he loved. Even if he was forced to marry his daughter would suffer and be unhappy in the future. Sponsored content remove ads. At that time, he had also asked the Mu family regarding this matter, but Mu Ling had quickly denied it. Now he realized that he had been deceived all along. Father, if you really love me, you should let me go. Otherwise, I will burn Tien Shan Manor someday. Gue said as she gritted her teeth. Jiyusha calmed down. He then turned and said, you said that she is in a relationship with Nanxian. That she will follow Nanxian to Tien Shan Manor one day. It will be the same if you wait for her here. I will bring you to her after your birthday. Okay. Anyway, he had made up his mind to send some people to the gate and not allow that girl to enter Tien Shan Manor. Really? Gue looked at Jiyusha in surprise. When have I ever lied to you? Jiyusha smiled, gently. Sponsored content remove ads. Gue was slightly silent. Well, it's only half a month until my birthday. I will leave after my birthday. Oh yes, if you want to find Xiao Qing for me, remember to ask those people in the chief manor to treat her nicely. If anyone dares to disrespect Xiao Qing, I will run away from home. You will never find me again. Jiyusha wiped away his bitter tears. He finally understood the meaning of the phrase, a grown girl could not be kept at home. But the one who made him experience it was a woman. Do you think him that kind of person? Don't worry, I will order the people at Tianshan Manor to treat her respectfully. As long as she did not come to Tianshan Manor to hurt his daughter, he would even call her father. Sponsored content remove ads. He only had a daughter. He was still waiting to hug his grandson. How could his dream be shattered by just one woman? Oh. Gue curled her lip and slurred over the matter. Jiusha's face stiffened. Was he so unreasonable in his daughter's heart? You have been back for a while. Would you like to go outside? He wanted everyone in Tianshan Manor to see his daughter's charms and make those who had looked down on her regret it. No. Gue was listless. I don't want to meet those people. They are not as beautiful and gentle as Xiao Qing. They also won't even praise me for being beautiful like Xiao Qing is. Moreover, there is no one here who can talk to me about Xiao Qing like Xiao Yin. What's the point of going outside? Sponsored content remove ads. Feng Ruqing was the only one who had praised her when she was about 250 pounds. That warmth was deeply engraved in her mind. Now even if those people accepted her, it was just because of her appearance. They were so hypocritical. She felt disgusted when she saw them. Jiusha looked at Gue's figure walking toward the hall. He felt a sense of danger in his heart. It seemed that his little devil really loved that girl. No, he had to find someone to distract her. Gue. An elder walked in from the door and put his fists together, respectfully. Manor Master. Go and find out which family's sons have not implicitly taunted when she was obese. He thought of Gue's words and paused. He then continued, he must look good and has a gentle temperament. He must also praise her all the time and be able to talk about that girl, Xiao Qing, with His family background is not that important, but the other criteria that I have mentioned is a must. Gue was speechless. Manor Master, your request is too hard to fulfill. Even those in Tianshan Manor cannot meet those requirements. 1. Chapter 799, Gue of the Gu family v. Jiusha's face darkened. What are you still doing? Quickly go and check it out. If sets a fire on Tianshan Manor, you shall rebuild it yourself. Sponsored content remove ads. At this moment, he really wanted to resign. The task given by the Manor Master was impossible to be accomplished. Gue immediately recovered from his thoughts when he saw Jiusha's gradually darkening face. He then said respectfully, yes, Manor Master. The Manor Master was really a ruthless man. At that time, the Manor Master was very dissatisfied with the former Manor Master. Therefore, he had killed him and replaced him as the Manor Master. But now he was always tormenting them. Sponsored content remove ads. Gue did not know that Feng Ruqing had come to Tianshan Manor, so she felt depressed every day. Although her birthday was approaching, she was not excited about it. She was listless. Let me in. The second young lady of Tianshan Manor. At the main gate of the chief manor, Enchanting, who was wearing ragged clothes with disheveled hair, looked haggard. She glared angrily at the people in front of her. Her token was stolen the other day. She could have followed Jiusha back to Tianshan Manor while Jiusha was still there then, but she had chosen to stay for Nanxian's sake. She was even too scared to ask Jiusha for another token. She feared that she would be forcibly brought back to Tianshan Manor. Too bad that all her money was used up before she could find Nanxian. She had initially wanted to use spirit herbs to exchange for some money. However, she never thought that those people would not accept it. She wondered if the group of people in the secular world were stupid. They had missed a great opportunity to buy spirit herbs. She could not even sell the spirit herbs at low prices. Sponsored content remove ads. Enchanting always felt that there was a mastermind behind all the things that had happened to her. That person seemed to be intentionally tormenting her. She had no other choice. She could only return to Tianshan Manor. Nonetheless, those people did not know her. Hence, they had stopped her from entering Tianshan Manor since she did not have a token. She had been wandering outside of Tianshan Manor for a few days. She planned to wait for someone whom she knew to bring her back. However, she was stopped once again when she walked to the chief manor. This time, Enchanting was completely furious. "I'm sorry," the Imperial Guard said, calmly. "There is only one young lady in our manor." "You," Enchanting was angry. She glared at the Imperial Guard. "I'm Enchanting. The manor master is my uncle. How dare you stop me? I will tell my uncle to drive you out." Sponsored content remove ads. The Imperial Guard sneered. "Oh, so you are Manor Lady An. But I didn't know that you are the second young lady of Tianshan Manor. By the way, Lady An has been driven out by Manor Master. You should leave too." Enchanting's eyes widened. Was Mother thrown out of the manor? What had happened when she was not in Tianshan Manor? Lady An is currently staying at Heaven Inn at Northern Street. "If you want to know the reason, you can just go and ask Lady An," the Imperial Guard said with a straight face. Enchanting gritted her teeth. Her wicked eyes scanned the Imperial Guard's face. She clenched her fists and turned around slowly. She then headed toward Northern Street. She would definitely walk into the chief manor fairly and squarely again one day. She wanted those who had looked down on her to regret it for life. Feng Ruching had just bought a pack of medicinal seeds at the herbs shop. After that, she bumped into two people as she was coming out of the herbs shop. The man's facial features were quite feminine. His embroidered long robe could not cover the fact that he was a scumbag. She did not expect to meet Feng Ruching in Tianshan Manor. He stopped. He was surprised at first, then his face eventually filled with smiles. Chapter 800. Hey, it's you. We meet again. It must be fate. Sponsored content remove ads. Luo Li was already following Feng Ruching without waiting for her to speak. She had just taken 2 steps forward when she suddenly saw Mu Shi and Mu Huan standing in front of her. One was soft and the other was cold and arrogant. "What are you doing here?" Luo Li held onto Feng Ruching's sleeves firmly. Somehow, Feng Ruching felt that Luo Li's hands were shaking. "Lady." Mu Shi slowly stepped forward. He smiled. "There is an amazing connection between us. What about joining us for lunch at Heaven Eye?" Feng Ruching was bewildered. She thought for a moment but could not remember anything about the man. "Do I know you?" Sponsored content remove ads. Mu Xi's smile froze. He then continued to laugh. "We have met each other in the forest of spirit beasts before. You may not remember me. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Mu Shi, the only young master of the Mu family." He deliberately emphasized the 2 words, "the only." Any smart woman would know what to choose. The surrounding atmosphere around the girl was cold right after he said that. "Are you from the Mu family?" Since coming to Tianshan Manor, she knew that she would meet the Mu family sooner or later. However, she never thought that this day would come so fast. Sponsored content remove ads. Xiao Qing. Luo Li turned her head and looked at Feng Ruching anxiously. She just felt that the current Xiao Qing was a bit intimidating. Feng Ruching smiled. "I am not interested in anyone from the Mu family. Get out of my way." Mu Xi's face darkened. "Lady, so you are not doing me this honor?" She kept saying that she was not interested in the Mu family. Did she not already devote herself to Nanxian? Was it not because Nanxian was of the Mu family's blood? Unfortunately, she had miscalculated. He was the only young master of the Mu family. Nanxian would lose out sooner or later. He was giving her a chance, but she had not cherished it. Sponsored content remove ads. Honor. Feng Ruching laughed. "Why should I? If you want me to join you for lunch, okay, kneel down now. You shall kneel and get to the gate on your knees. Then, maybe I will think about it." Mu Xi's face completely changed. He no longer had that friendly smile and his face was clouded. "Hey girl, don't think you can do whatever you want just because Nanxian is protecting you. You are nothing in Tianshan Manor." "Nanxian?" Mu Huan glared at Feng Ruching, coldly. Oh, so this was the girl whom Nanxian liked. There was nothing special about her. She was just a contentious and useless woman. If Nanxian liked that girl, so be it. Nanxian was not insightful, so he would never find a good girl. Why did Mu Huan also fancy her? I have told you. Kneel down immediately. Suddenly, many vines rose behind Mu Shi, pulling down on his knees, hard. He lost his stability and kneeled in front of Feng Ruqing. Mu Xi's face was covered in cold sweat. Compared to the pain, being ashamed and humiliated were more intolerable. He clenched his fists. His face was pale and his eyes were like a poisoned dagger glaring at Feng Ruqing. Bitch, do you want to die? Feng Ruqing stared down at Mu Shi, who was kneeling in front. I have already told you. If you want me to join you for lunch, you have to kneel and get to the gate on your knees. Only then I will think about it. Since you can't do it, I don't even need to think about it. You just need to kneel. Chapter 801. Mu Huan's face stiffened. She wanted to help Mu Shi to his feet, but he was entangled in the vines. She had already tried her best to pull him back up, but it did not work. Sponsored content remove ads. There was no other way. She then pulled out her sword to cut the vines and did not care whether it would hurt Mu Shi or not. However, Mu Shi was still entangled in the vines. Lady, this is Tianshan manner. Her face darkened looking at Feng Ruqing. Don't be too presumptuous. Luo Li was angry. She arrived in front of Feng Ruqing and glared angrily at Mu Huan. So, what if it is Tianshan manner? Mu Huan, I have always been tolerating you because Qin Feiya told me to. But this time I can't bear it anymore. As long as I'm here, don't you and the Mu family dare touch her. Mu Huan's face was cold. Her indifferent eyes scanned Luo Li's face. Luo Li, the quality of the friends that you make are getting lower and lower. How can you even be besties with such a person? Sponsored content remove ads. You, Luo Li's little face turned red. Feng Ruqing quickly pulled her back before she could say anything. There was a slight grin on the girl's face. That grin had a certain air that could make one shudder. But such a person can make your Mu family kneel in front of me. If the young master of the Mu family is worse than me, then what kind of a person is he? Mu Huan's eyes darkened. You better not go too far, girl. Give yourself some room in whatever you do, just in case we may meet each other again in the future. Oh. Feng Ruqing smiled. Rest assured, I will still make him kneel and talk to me the next time we meet. Mu Huan was speechless. Sponsored content remove ads. Did this girl not understand people's words, or did she look down on the Mu family? Get out. The vines suddenly tightened and Mu Shi was being pulled up from the ground. Then he was flung out through the air before he landed in the crowd. She then looked at Mu Huan. You want to leave on your own, or would you prefer me throwing you out? Mu Huan's body stiffened. She clenched her fists and stared at Feng Ruqing coldly. Then she turned and walked toward Mu Shi. Sponsored content remove ads. Luo Li was relieved when these two people finally left. Xiao Qing, why did you suddenly launch an attack on Mu Shi? I was really scared just now. She was afraid that Mu Huan would have fought back. Mu Huan was clearly a person who was afraid of losing face. Therefore, she did not dare to fight back in the public. Otherwise, she did not know if she could withstand Feng Ruqing's attacks. Let's go back. Although Feng Ruqing seemed calm on the outside, her heart was filled with fear and worries. If she was given another chance, she would still do the same. Even though Feng Ruqing could not fully destroy the Mu family now, she still failed to control her temper while facing those who had bullied Suyi and the state preceptor. It was impossible for her to back down in front of the state preceptor's enemy. Mu Shi. Mu Huan's face darkened. She walked toward Mu Shi angrily, but her face slightly changed when she saw Mu Xi's pale face. What happened to you? I don't know. Mu Shi gritted his teeth. His eyes were filled with resentment. I just felt that something had penetrated into my body just now. My whole body aches now. It might be the thorns on the vines just now. Mu Huan initially wanted to scold him. However, She could not say anything after she heard his voice. She stepped forward to help Mushi, and her tone was calm when she spoke again. My master has not left yet. Let's go. We shall let my master see what's going on in your body. Chapter 802. Sister, are we really going to let her off so easily? Mook's eyes face darkened. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Do you think that that lady is capable of controlling the vine? There must be a spirit beast with her. As I don't know how powerful that spirit beast is, I dare not to fight back. Since she is Nanxian's lover, Nanxian would definitely have gotten some spirit beasts to protect her. Mu Huan glanced at Mu Shi. Therefore, that spirit beast must be really something. Damn. It is that rotten bastard, Nanxian again. Mu Shi clenched his fists tightly. If I can't get Nanxian's belongings, no one can. She must pay for the humiliations I have suffered today. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Mu Ling and Qingyang were waiting respectfully at the main hall of the Mu family. A priest-like elder stood before the two of them. He had a ruddy complexion although his hair had turned grey. Grandmaster Hai Rong, what happened to my father? Seeing the elder lost in thought, Mu Ling was growing more anxious. The elder did not utter a word. After a long while, he said, helplessly, I've looked at the old master, but I have no idea what kind of illness he has. Can you please give me some time? Or, Hai Rong paused for a moment before continuing, I heard that there is a rare talent in Paramount who is capable of making herbal dishes. Perhaps, she could find a way to treat the old master. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Everyone in this realm was only capable of simmering herbs and none of them could make herbal dishes. There were powerful health benefits when herbs were added to food. Hence, herbal dishes could yield twice the results with half the effort. Perhaps, that rare talent was the only one who could save the old master. Unfortunately, Hai Rong was not capable of getting even the slightest bit of information about the divine physician Qingxian from those of Paramount. Could you please stay longer to treat the old master? With a dry feeling in his throat, Mu Ling's eyes were filled with despair as he smiled wryly. Grandmaster Hai Rong had once said that he would never treat anyone in this realm. Otherwise, Mu Ling would not have to spend so much effort to get the divine physician from the manor master to treat the old master all these years. Sponsored content. Remove ads. But this time, the old master had lost his consciousness and his strength was depleting. Mu Ling really had no other choice but to turn to Grandmaster Hai Rong. Moreover, Mu Ling must never let others know about this. Originally, Grandmaster Hai Rong had fully repaid the Mu family's kindness by taking Mu Huan as his apprentice. Fortunately, Grandmaster Hai Rong possessed a strong sense of righteousness. Hence, he had agreed to Mu Ling's last request and treated the old master. All right, for the sake of that lady, I will stay for a few more days. Grandmaster Hai Rong smiled. Oh yeah, where is that lady who was with you back then? Is she your younger or elder sister? Why is she not here today? Currently, Mu Ling already had a lady. Although this lady was just a concubine, as Mu Ling cared for her so much, she must not be as simple as she seemed. Moreover, this lady had a son and a daughter with Mu Ling. Perhaps, the lady back then was Mu Ling's sister. After so many years, that lady must have been married to another young master. Feeling awkward, Mu Ling did not know how to answer. At this time, Chen Qingyang, who was standing nearby, took a few steps forward with a smile on her face. My sister has left Tianshan Manor a few years ago and has not come back since. Hence, she does not know that you are here. Otherwise, she would definitely come to see you. Chapter 803. She is your sister? Then, her surname must also be Chen. Back then, she had told me that she would visit me when she is free. She did visit me for the first few years, but she has stopped doing that. She did not even come when you sent Huana to me. As I don't like leaving the mountain, I haven't met her for years. Hai Rong smiled. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Suyi had never told Hai Rong her name. When she had visited Hai Rong back then, Hai Rong had always been discussing something about medical and spirit herbs with her. Hence, he had forgotten to ask her for her name. It was such a pity. Previously, she has helped me out when I was in trouble. Hence, I owe her a favor. Technically, I have repaid her kindness for accepting Huana as a disciple. However, since that lady is your sister-in-law, I will try my best to cure the old master. Since when had Suyi become Mu Ling's sister-in-law? Mu Ling's face darkened a few shades as he did not know why Qingyang would say that. However, since Hai Rong was still there, he did not ask Chen Qingyang. Sponsored content remove ads. I'm exhausted. You don't have to take care of me. I just need to get some rest. Hai Rong got up with a smile on his face. After a while, he paused and he said, "Oh yeah, let me know if that lady is back. I have a lot to discuss with her." As soon as Hai Rong finished his words, he walked out of the main hall. Only when Hai Rong had disappeared in the distance, Mu Ling regained his focus and asked, "Qingyang, why did you tell Grandmaster Hai Rong that Suyi was your sister?" Sponsored content remove ads. Chen Qingyang pursed her lips as her eyes reddened. "Brother Ling, you know Grandmaster Hai Rong very well. Who is capable of handling him if he loses his mind? What if he sides Suyi and refuses to treat the old master? I am worried about the old master. It is fine if he misunderstands Huana and me." Hearing this, Mu Ling did not say anything. Moreover, Grandmaster Hai Rong had vowed to stop treating anyone in this realm. He has agreed to treat the old master for Sister Suyi's sake. I did this because of the old master. Since the old master had treated Sister Suyi so well and had hurt me because of her, I am sure Sister Suyi will not be mad at me if she finds out about this. I believe that she is not an ingrate. Chen Qingyang innocently raised her tearful eyes. Sponsored content remove ads. In other words, Qingyang was telling Mu Ling that since the old master had treated Suyi so well, no matter what Qingyang did in Suyi's name, she must not hold grudges against Qingyang. Otherwise, Suyi was nothing but an ungrateful wretch. Hearing this, Mu Ling felt a little relieved and finally relented. We truly have no choice in saving the old master. However, as Grandmaster Hai Rong lived high up in the mountain previously, he knows nothing about Suyi. Now that he is here, he might be able to hear something about Suyi. That would be something we need to consider in the future. Currently, the old master's health is the top priority. Chen Qingyang smiled softly as she leaned against Mu Ling's chest. Hai Rong has always treated Mu Huan so well. Moreover, Mu Huan had stayed with Hai Rong for more than 10 years. The relationship between a master and disciple would naturally be stronger than the friendship between Hai Rong and Suyi. Currently, Qingyang could only keep Hai Rong in the dark, and if she could no longer hide it from Hai Rong, she would get Mu Huan to calm Hai Rong down. She believed that Hai Rong would never expel Mu Huan from the sect. However, Mu Ling sighed softly. I feel sorry for Suyi. Hai Rong owes Suyi a favor, but I have asked him to take Huana as a disciple to repay her kindness. Qingyang, Suyi will be back for the old master's birthday. Get Huana to treat Suyi better. After all, Huana would not have been able to make it this far without Suyi. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.